Man, I think Call of Duty coverage is a yearly tradition at this point, but this time instead, there is not a lot of hype surrounding the World War II thingy revealed in 2021. You can barely find folks rooting for this game really, and the bigger problem is a competition, Battlefield, going with a modern setting. Let's have a talk about Vanguard, one of those titles that will probably be forgotten in time, like Ghosts and Advanced Warfare. Hello everyone, Chris back again with you in Gaming Zone. Call of Duty. As always, this is the yearly release everyone is interested in. In 2021, Sledgehammer Games decided to bless us with a World War II title, in a year where people are fed up with such a setting being overdone. Lovely throwback to those times when Infinite Warfare was announced, I suppose, when everyone was fed up with futuristic stuff instead. Ain't one Battlefield V enough everyone, time to introduce its sequel from Activision. Anyways, today I'm here to share some impressions based on the alpha and beta I played on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Thanks to lovely folks at Activision, Sony gets the benefits of exclusivity of this franchise, a thing which I really hate. Anything for money really, typical corporate greed. The reveal of this title was pretty cool, in manner with Black Ops Cold War. You have Warzone, that big field filled with aimbots and Sonic type fellas that everyone avoids nowadays. But instead of fighting each other, you have to literally blow up a fortress on rails. I have to say, the Cold War reveal was more exciting, as you had effects and miscellaneous stuff happening everywhere on screen while you made the getaway. This time you only got blown up by World War II planes. Or what? You expected something more? Sorry man, those $1 billion can't be spent on something decent. We have a bonus package to make for our CEO after the PR disaster. Thanks to leaks, we also found out that, and I think it's no surprise when it comes to this franchise, nothing is going to be authentic, just like that pathetic trashfire Treyarch spawned in 2020. Well, at least we got some actual Soviet soldiers in this title, unlike a certain release coming from a studio in Sweden. Before starting with the impressions, my apologies if the background gameplay from consoles is absolute trash. I am brain dead when it comes to playing with controllers, since only recently I got into the console market. I hope you understand I am just getting started with these platforms. After spending the first night in the alpha, I was surprised by the fact that its gameplay is quite similar to Modern Warfare 2019, but of course set in the World War II era. Weapons are the typical armament seen in the respective era, the default M1926, MP40, Sturmgewehr 44, and the rest of the bunch. Locations seen in alpha are quite decent too, not the effortless trash I've seen previous year from Treyarch. This new mode called Champion Hill reminded me once again why I hated the 2v2 format, yours truly growing a burning hatred for this mode. First night in was actually playable, until of course the 24/7 shipment folks decided to hop in. This mode doesn't care if a teammate disconnects just before starting the game, leaving you alone to fight with two players, which are either soul buckets or some chill dudes that want to have a game night. More or less, this is a micro Warzone gimmick that Vanguard will introduce on release that will basically die in a week or two, more or less. Transitioning to beta, everything turned into a dumpster fire. I spent 3 hours in this game and I lost interest if there was any. Multiplayer maps are uninspired garbage, you just run in circles through buildings, where the center of the location is empty, or just the reverse of that like seen in Hotel Royale. Ganovatu is probably the best location I've seen in this build of Vanguard, since it actually has a mix of cover and open space. After Modern Warfare 2019, which basically pushed the quality bar for this franchise, the latter games look like some antics from 2014. The engine is Infinity Ward production, that is for sure, but what happened to the graphics and the sounds? Color gamut looks bland in this game, and it feels like I'm playing through a CRT or a really low-end monitor. Sounds are absolute garbage, and I thought Black Ops Cold War had them bad. The sound system in Vanguard is probably the worst thing I've seen in quite a while. You can't hear enemy footsteps. They might be right behind you and you won't realize that if there is no high alert perk active. So out of curiosity, I decided to download the Xbox Series X version of the game to check if the gameplay elements there are better. Turns out that the console version is much worse than a computer one. 30 minutes into the gameplay session and my Xbox hard crashed, yet shutting down completely mid-game.
You're mowing them down.
A Apparently SSDs are useless for this game, as I still see these satanic creatures from PS1 era games. Just look at this fella right here. Straight up me after a dose of Taco Bell has been ingested by my system. It's been 2 years since Modern Warfare 2019 released with this custom engine, and they still haven't fixed this bug. Talk about 40GB patches to fix problems. Now to the honest feedback. Vanguard is a low effort refresh that Activision spawned in 2021, but this time in a World War II package. The gameplay gimmick for this game is destroyable objects. Really? Welcome to 2006 Call of Duty. Destroyable wooden walls just like Battlefield 2 did back in the day. Honestly, I'm surprised how they made this a big feature for the franchise, while other games had this for years. I suppose the single player part of this project is worth more attention, since the teasers cover different parts of the World War II cinematic universe. At least they didn't follow Battlefield V on this one and included Soviet troops in game. That's a point from me, folks. Yes, of course, this thing is going to sell, since people nowadays can ingest this kind of fecal matter with ease at this point. The industry is stale at the moment, as the big projects have been delayed for next year thanks to human malware. Sadly, for this studio, I'm not purchasing this game. I had my cup of raw sewage that was Black Ops Cold War, an unfinished, janky AAA title which raised the prices for console and PC games unjustified. Looking back at the 2020 release, this entry feels more rushed, and it's releasing for the sake of having a schedule met. Not only is it a safe approach to this franchise, without any major changes, but it's a rushed mess that somehow is worse than I expected it to be. More fuel to the fire, the Activision Blizzard lawsuit that revealed some awful behind the scenes moments of the company left me disappointed that I purchased products from them in the first place. I'm not giving my money to people that encourage microtransactions and awful behavior in a company, especially when the generated money goes to the CEO directly, not to the employees who work sleepless nights without bonuses to salary. Not everyone is a saint in this industry, but these folks basically had it coming with this type of behavior. Warzone lost its charm with a balance-breaking Cold War armament, and thanks to 720 no-scope folks, it became a dumpster fire expected to turn into. And now with Vanguard armament, insanity like incendiary rounds will make an appearance there. Oh man, I can't even imagine the insane shit show that integration would produce. Not only that, instead of releasing a proper anti-cheat for this side of the game, on time, Raven in their infinite wisdom decided that after months of slow updates and bleeding player base, it's time to introduce a house-made problem solver. Wow, what a great idea. Everyone will come flooding back into the game as soon as that thing gets released. Don't mind the fatigue the players have after getting destroyed by cheaters. I'm going to stop there since the entirety of this upload is going to turn into a massive rant on the current state of this franchise. Look, if you enjoy the classic Call of Duty gameplay, you will feel more than welcome in this one. The standard formula but in a World War II package, the gameplay is basically the same as Modern Warfare 2019, things that people playing this franchise enjoy. But looking around at the competition, the new quotes features this game has to offer are an absolute joke. The Infinite Warfare Battlefield 1 situation is repeating again with Vanguard. And trust me, you will have nothing to lose if skipping this title. This project feels like a filler gap until the release of Modern Warfare Reboot sequel in 2022. Honestly, this franchise musters a break after getting milked so bad. I understand that these talks of mine are going into a void, but these studios truly need a break. Treyarch is free-falling into a death trap, since Black Ops 4 we've been getting broken trash that is underdeveloped. Sledgehammer Games keeps on giving birth to projects like Vanguard. Games from this studio are the least interesting Call of Duties that come out. Everyone is just consuming these average games from these studios until Big Boy Infinity Ward drops their flagship title. Look, delaying a game 1 year is not that bad, trust me. Yes, the revenue will be lower because of that, but you will allow developers to create a better game than this pile of dogshit called Cold War. Modern Warfare even in 2021 looks great, and it's still popular, played by lots of people. This should bring up some signs there. Human malware prevents developers from working full force on products, and I think supporting a title that was a huge hit is much better during problematic times. But what am I talking about? Activision suits are ready to sell their mothers just to get more cash earnings every quarter. Vanguard feels like a template product just to fill the gaps until the next Modern Warfare entry arrives, and you can feel that in this beta gameplay. I highly doubt the final product will change much, since these so-called betas became marketing points and demo versions of the retail package. Of course, there will be tons of problems when this title will integrate with the money spawner mode, and that is guaranteed by me. Warzone itself was a good attempt at Battle Royale for Call of Duty, but they drained the interest down the toilet because someone can't write a damn anti-cheat for the game and balance the weapons with the new releases. Oh, never mind. It just took a year for the first point to be implemented. Well, what can you do? Better keep it safe so you could generate billions than attempt to create something polished and have fun to play. Thank you for watching my content piece on Call of Duty Vanguard. Activision is milking the living heck out of this franchise at this point. That is sad to see. Now before you go, remember to throw a thumbs up and subscribe. Clicking that bell stuff will send you notifications when something new is uploaded on my channel. This was Chris. See you in the gaming zone. Они сварили, бля. Реально ПНГшка, лол. Bro, this fucking game is a joke.